Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is March 29th, 2024, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, gold bounces back and rallies almost to its all-time record highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we start out the day at 3:30 South African time. We have a core PCE Price Index number coming out, and then at 4:30 South African time, we have Fed Chairman Powell will be speaking. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the US dollar continued to gain versus the euro, and as we look at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ remain unchanged. Looking at commodities, gold breaking out higher, and as we look at oil, also pushing higher as well to $83 a barrel. Now, looking at the stocks, JP Morgan hitting new record highs at $200, and we're watching Tesla peter out and trickle lower. And lastly, look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now we are trickling lower. Okay, day to day, not a big deal. Okay, but if you accumulate those days together, you get 70 to 60 pips. Altogether, the Euro and the USD have been in a very tight range. I mean, we've been about 200 to 300 point pip range over the last few months. So altogether, that's not a bad move, okay, for the Euro USD. Not breaking the bank at all, okay? GBP USD also trickling just a little bit lower, but really very choppy market when it comes to the dollar. Also, the Australian dollar continued to trickle, but nothing really big, okay? As we look at the Japanese yen, and this I've been keeping on the back of my eye, and I'd like to go over it, even if it's done nothing. It has done nothing. This is a daily chart, okay? It's been trading between this 151.37, 38. Nothing. Really has done nothing. But it's on its all-time record lows versus the dollar. The Japanese yen trading lower versus the dollar. So this can accumulate to something, okay? If you look at a monthly chart, just to give you perspective, okay? This is Japan we're talking about, one of the largest economies in the world, that their currency is getting much softer versus US dollar. Now jumping into commodities. This is where it's at. Gold, look at this. 2232 is where we're trading in right now. If you look at a daily, we spiked up last week, okay, to record highs of 2242, which is 10 points away where we are, but we didn't close the day. It was a spike and it was a retracement. That's not considered like breakout. Okay, that's considered just a spike, especially if it's done on the breakout. Now, this is a bona fide breakout. If we pass this 2242, sky's the limit. It could go to 3,000. There's no reason. There's nothing holding it back, technically speaking. Okay, what we consider fundamentally speaking, how far it could go, that's another argument. But if this continues going at this present junction, we can see it going to 2,500 if it does break above. So consider that. Looking at crude oil, we're back to our highs of $83 a barrel. We kind of also recovering here. Question is, are we going to break out higher? And that's what I'm going to be looking at to next. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, Dow Jones recovers, hanging out, not doing much. If we look at a daily chart, really didn't do anything. If we look at the NASDAQ, also on a daily chart, just about 20 to 30 points lower. Again, not doing much. However, two things. Bank stocks in the U.S. are relatively very strong. JP Morgan back to its highs at $200 a share. That's really important because it did make that recovery. Even though we sold off earlier this week, we made a recovery when it comes to JP Morgan. Now looking at ALCOA, also pushing out higher. Now this is old school kind of companies that are breaking out higher. So this is called catching up to the rest of the market, where we saw the Facebooks, the Microsofts, the Amazons, the Googles all getting to new record highs. Okay, but the question is are we going to play catch up? Are we playing rotation? Or is this starting to be the top? Okay, and the reason I say that is because if we look at certain stocks, they are showing a double top. Okay, and that's what's double concerning me when I'm looking at some of these stocks. Not all of them, but some of them are. Okay, looking at Tesla, we bounced, but we're showing some weakness right after we bounce. So really, petering out towards the end of this week. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, Okay, it's been right there. It's unchanged. It's holding on to its gains, not breaking below 70K. That's mentally a very important number, so keep that in mind as well. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.